Hello. We're live. Live with some readings. The stream works. Great news. Fantastic. Ooh. Time for some Lord of the Rings. I think I'm pretty much ready to go here. I don't know if... Sometimes I like to stall for a couple minutes, just in case anybody wants to show up. Oh, here we go. We got somebody here. That guy. Hello, that guy. Yes. We are reading Lord of the Rings. I'm sorry I missed last week. Let's call it an emotional day. How about that? And I'm busy the next 2 days, so I'm like, I should just stream today on Sunday because that's just what I got to do. Which, going forward, if I have work things, might have to be a flexible day. Oh, we already turned this on. A flexible day where we decide maybe a little more on the fly. I want to keep doing Mondays, but guys got to live. You know what I mean? Guys got to live. All right. Well, I think I've stalled for long enough. I don't see any reason why we should just get started. Oh, yeah. No, upload schedule's good, but, you got a life. And I've decided it's more important to regularly work on stuff, than to force yourself on a schedule. I think you do want to try to do some regular stuff, which is why I stream every week. But, as long as you do something every day, which I've not actually been doing great. I need to work on some other video or something. And more live stream stuff. I've been thinking about more live stream stuff to do as well, because that's a little easier, to be honest, than making videos. Because editing takes a lot of time, and I like making videos, but editing and recording takes a lot of time. And a live stream might take some prep work, but it takes a couple of hours. You know what I mean? Yo, thank you, Danger P. Did I say that right? Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for joining us here for some Lord of the Rings. Yeah, let's stop with the preamble here, I guess. I should just get straight to it. It's been a couple of weeks. Let's see if I can remember how to speak words. The most important thing is you got to get comfortable here. So we just got to get comfortable, because if I'm going to sit here for 2 hours potentially, I got to make sure I'm good to go. All right. Yep. Honestly, I mentioned that in my video hitting 500 subs. Yeah. If I could hit that, I would feel good. Or I didn't. Did I mention that? I don't know if I did, actually. But I thought it. And I did hit 500 subs. And it was like, okay, well, at least I created something somewhat noteworthy for the first time ever that people actually watched. But I'm not going to give up, because I need to do something. And this is what I have to do. Yeah, man. 1,000 subs is a big one. I'm like right there, but for some reason I'm just like, am I gonna be able? Those 30 subs, can I get those 30 subs? It does feel like a big 30. Yeah, the 15 years on YouTube. Yeah, that one. I'm glad. I'm glad it resonates. Seriously. Yeah, you're into the other stuff. Good. Because one of the problems with that one going so successful is that it's not necessarily exactly what I have going on in the whole channel. I got this voice stuff, and I kind of like fantasy and whatever. But I want to do more videos like that. I did do another video like that did okay. I think I could try to do more talking head videos. Though it's hard to be like every video, just be like, okay, and now I'm going to talk about more of my struggles and more issues and more clickbait titles. It's like Yeah, dude, it's tough being a creator. 4 years, you got me beat. Hey, 4 years, better than 7. And, get back in it. Get back on it. Yeah, it is. I'm gonna keep chugging along as well. We we gotta look out for each other here. Now I just have to figure out. I don't know. I mean, I feel like I had a good vision for this channel, but that video is like got me a little off script. You know what I mean? Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get started here, so that the viewers at home can enjoy. Oh yeah, that's something I need to do. As I need a timestamp all the live streams so people can skip the intro if they're just watching it, like as a video, you know, later. We got to remember to do that because then I could just keep talking, right? And we can just hang out, and then it's not a big deal. Okay, whatever. I'm gonna get started. Alrighty then. Man, I haven't read all week. Okay, there was a silence. Said Aragorn. You saw the... Sorry, I'm just saying words to get warmed up here. You saw the eye of him that holds the 7 and the 9. Oh my god. Oh yes, of course. Okay, let's do this. So I should not do the mouth noises in the mic. That's crazy. Okay. Chapter 8. Farewell to Lorien. That night, the company was again summoned to the chamber of Celeborn, and there the lord and lady greeted them with fair words. Why do I have my headphones in? Sorry. I don't know why I put my headphones in. I don't need them. I don't have audio. I can hear my voice better if my headphones aren't in. Okay. And there the lord and lady greeted them with fair words. At length, Celeborn spoke of their departure. All right, how did I do, Celeborn? Let's see. I think it was kind of a deeper elf vibe. Now is the time, he said, when those who wish to continue the quest must harden their hearts to leave this land. Those who no longer wish to go forward may remain here for a while, but whether they stay or go, none can be sure of peace, for we are come now to the edge of doom. Bad sentences. Here those who wish may wait. Here those who wish may await the oncoming of our... Oh, fuck. I haven't read for a week. Sometimes it's so hard for me to focus through a full sentence. I'm so sorry. Here those who wish may await the oncoming of the hour till either the ways of the world lie open again, or we summon them to the last need of Lorien. Then they may return to their own lands, or else go to the long home of those that fall in battle. There was a silence. They are all resolved to go forward, said Galadriel, looking in their eyes. As for me, said Boromir, my way home lies onward and not back. Because Boromir's a douchebag. That is Celeborn. Now is the time. That is true, said Celeborn. But is all this company going with you to Minas Tirith? We have not decided a course. Sorry, I'm going to take a pause. I need a break. Already? I'm not even... Nice to see you, Relis. Thank you for joining. It's great to have you here. I try to read at least a little bit before I stop to read comments, because otherwise we'll never make progress. Okay. We have not decided our course. Beyond Lothlorien, I do not know what Gandalf intended to do. Indeed, I do not even think he had any clear purpose. Maybe not, said Celeborn. Yet when you leave this land, you can no longer forget the great river. As some of you know well, it cannot be crossed by travelers with baggage between Lorien and Gondor, save by boat. And are not the bridges of Osgiliath broken down, and all the landings held now by the enemy? On which side will you journey? The way to Minas Tirith lies upon this side, upon the west. But the straight road of the quest lies east of the river, upon the darker shore. Which shore will you now take? Finish the page. There we go. We're getting back into it. That is one of the things with Lord of the Rings. A lot of characters, and I'm trying to make them all, and they're all fantasy men with an accent. So it's like, how do I make them different? You know? With my talent. That's how, right? Okay. If my advice is heeded, it will be to the western shore, and the way to Minas Tirith, answered Boromir. But I am not the leader of the company. The others said nothing, and Aragorn looked doubtful and troubled. I see that you do not yet know what to do, said Celeborn. It is not my part to choose for you, but I will help you as I may. There are some among you who can handle the boats. Legolas, whose folk know the swift forest river, and Boromir of Gondor, and Aragorn the traveller. And one hobbit, cried Merry. Not all of us look on boats as wild horses. My people live by the banks of the Brandywine. Make one French. I don't know if I could do a French accent. I'll be real with you. That's not an accent I have mastered. I was just talking to somebody this weekend about how I have not Australian stuff. And I was getting a little better at that. So I'm thinking about trying to get the Australian accent down. And now that it's my whole shtick, I should probably try to finesse more accents, actually. I could probably figure it out if I try really hard. 1K this week. I hope. Is that a goat? Oh, the goat. Okay. Sorry, we love goats, you know. I don't know if you guys know that about me. I love goats. I don't really. I mean, I kind of do now after reading Dungeon Crawler Carl. I'm a big pony fan. I don't know if any of you guys read that one. Prepotente. Sorry, okay. I just got a tangent in by a goat in chat. Good to see you. Yes. I really appreciate you hopping in. What am I going to do for my 1,000 sub special? I don't know. It's a great question. Will I hit it soon? Keep in mind, it took me 15 years to get to 199. So it could be a while before we get those 30 subs, if we're being honest. But I guess maybe it could happen sooner than that. So maybe I shouldn't have a plan. I do not have a plan. I'll tell you this much. I am not drinking mayo water. Okay. That was a long time ago, but I remember that was miserable. We're not doing that. Okay. Drink another milk concoction. There it is. I was waiting for somebody to suggest it. A milk concoction sounds way better than mayo water, so I might consider that. But also 15 years for 900. I mean, that's true. That's true. It's not really true anymore. Though it depends on the date and time. You know that I don't remember the specifics, so I can't tell you. But you're right. Technically, it did get me to 900. You're right. But that's not if you look at the average subs per year, you know. Though, you know what I need to do is I need to keep doing the shorts because the shorts would consistently get me some subs. They would actually consistently get me some subs. So maybe I need to start my short game back up again. And that will trickle me up to 1,000, which would be great. So I could do that. I just like making videos and live streaming more than I like making the shorts, to be honest. It's more fun for me to make actual videos, but whatever. But I need to do I need to do more shorts for sure. That'll probably get me to 1,000. Yeah, dude. I don't know if any of you watched my shorts. I have a lot of them. That's where the most of my voice work is cataloged there in the shorts. Okay, let's keep reading. Where were we? I'm getting distracted again. Let's see. We love the comments, though. Keep it up. I just got to make some progress. Oh, yeah. Mary. That is well, said Celeborn. Then I will furnish your company with boats. They must be small and light. For if you go far by water, There are places where you will be forced to carry them. You will come to the rapids of San Gabir, and maybe at last to the great falls of Roros, where the river thunders down from Nen Hithoel. I've never even heard some of these things. And there are other perils. Boats may make your journey less toilsome for a while, yet they will not give you counsel. In the end, you must leave them and the river and turn west or east. Aragorn thanked Celeborn many times. The gift of boats comforted him. Sorry, I'm wobbling too much. The gift of boats comforted him much, at least because there would now be no need to decide his course for some days. The others, too, looked more hopeful. Whatever perils lay ahead, it seemed better to float down the broad tide of Anduin to meet them than to plod forward with bent backs. Only Sam was doubtful. He, at any rate, still thought boats as bad as wild horses or worse, and not all the dangers that he had survived made him think better of them. Oh yeah, YouTube is putting the shorts in your algorithm. That's great. That's great. YouTube's doing its job. Sometimes, there's like a paranoia as a content creator that YouTube is like just decides it doesn't like you for some reason and it just isn't going to show you to people, and you're just like, oh God, do I suck? But hey, YouTube hasn't given up on me. Being a YouTuber is paranoia. The harder I try, the more crazy I go. No, I already went crazy. Let's be real. It's probably all the years of drinking is probably what it was, if we're being honest. All shall be prepared for you and await you at the haven before noon tomorrow, said Celeborn. I will send my people to you in the morning to help you make ready for the journey. Now we will wish you all a fair night and untroubled sleep. Good night, my friends, said Galadriel. Sleep in peace. Do not trouble your hearts overmuch with thought of the road tonight. Maybe the paths that you each shall tread are already laid before your feet, though you do not see them. Good night. Yeah, exactly. One video does well, and then you're like, oh no, oh God, now I'm definitely a failure because everything after this is gonna suck. Yeah, exactly. It's like the video doing well confirms how terrible you normally are. You make a bunch of videos and then one does well, and you're like, okay, I'm not just suppressed. I just actually suck really bad, and I just finally made something decent. And you're like, crap, can I do that again? But really what it is just like engagement. Like, I made this trying to be a YouTuber instead of voice acting, and that one, I think that was actually a good video that people really liked as well. But it just wasn't as clickbaitable of a title and thumbnail. So I just don't think, so I had a low click-through rate and not as much going on, and so it just didn't get as much push from the algorithm and as many views, So it's like the art is getting the title and the thumbnail, which is, awkward. I think I like what I'm doing. And it's like what I'm trying to do is like have these live streams and maybe maybe some videos or these live streams. I'm gonna have this one. I got other plans for more as well. I just need to do them. And then I'm gonna do like videos and shorts that I try to put more effort and production into and come up with like fun ideas that people will actually want to click on, And then I got these streams and people can engage with the streams, I'm just talking out loud to you guys. Is this wrong? No, it's fine. No, it's fine. We're here. We're all here. I'm the GOAT. Yeah, dude, I'm the GOAT, bro. I got it. First video during finals season seemed to be a slow start and did well. Now I'm stuck working on finals and videos to capitalize. Ooh, hey man, can't complain about having a good video. That's what I would say. Though that timing is awkward for sure. Live stream community is one of the best. Yes. I really want it. That's what I want. I want a good live stream community. And my next idea for like a stream is hopefully going to lean into that more. It's an interesting idea. And it's going to be more like I'm going to try to make it like a show, but more of a like a live stream kind of show thing. You know, just it's low key, but like something fun for people and engagement. You know, for anyone who decides to stick around. So hopefully I can get a good community because that would be the best. That would be the best. It's my fault that I inspired you to work too hard. Yes. Game Changer used to be like that. I don't know. It was live. Like, well, it was from a live studio audience, but yeah. I as someone who hates to work too much, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You're probably working harder than I am, so that actually makes me feel pretty guilty myself. Listen, I've had a lot of emotional troubles as of late, and I'm trying to, like right now, I'm really trying to work on mental stability so that I can because like last week, full disclosure, I canceled because I was like not in a good mood, and I want to have fun, positive streams, you know. So I didn't stream because I was like, I can't. It's hard to read, and this is the oversharing stream. Psych, guys. Lord of the Rings is a lie. This is just me telling you all my thoughts. Okay, let's keep reading. Okay, Galadriel said goodnight. Okay, the company now took their leave and returned to their pavilion. Legolas went with them, for this was to be their last night in Lothlorien, and in spite of the words of Galadriel, they wished to take counsel together. For a long time they debated what they should do, and how it would be best to attempt the fulfilling of their purpose with the ring, but they came to no decision. It was plain that most of them desired to first go to Minas Tirith, and to escape at least for a while from the terror of the enemy. They would have been willing to follow a leader of the river and into the shadow of Mordor, but Frodo spoke no word, and Aragorn was still divided in his mind. They don't have a leader. They don't have a leader. Yeah, I mean, that's true, but, like, if your mental health is so fucked up so often that you can't ever do anything, then at a certain point you're like, okay, we need to figure this out, man. But no, I mean, I am doing stuff, so it's okay. But yeah, that is so true. And especially as a content creator, when I used to live stream a long time, you know, I streamed like a year and a half straight. And I tried to stream like almost every day. And it really went off the rails when I started getting too depressed. Because being a live streamer, making good content that people enjoy, just doesn't work if you're in a bad mood. Because people don't like you as much when you're feeling bad. You know? They don't. So you really can't be, you can't get beat down in the dumps. So you got to find a way to rally. And I've been working on finding ways to rally, you know? That's where I'm at, for sure. But I have some ideas. I want to make sure I keep working on stuff. But alas, we find ourselves in another tangent. Let us return to the novel. His own plan, while Gandalf remained with them, had been to go with Boromir, and with his sword helped to deliver Gondor, for he believed that the message of the dreams was a summons, and that the hour had come at last when the heir of Elendil should come forth and strive with Sauron for the mastery. But in Moria, the burden of Gandalf had been laid on him, and he knew he could not now forsake the ring If Frodo refused in the end to go with Boromir. If Frodo refused in the end to go with Boromir. And yet what help could he or any of the company give to Frodo, save to walk blindly with him into darkness? True. That's everyone now. Everyone I know around my age is depressed and anxious, including me. It is, everyone. There must be something in the cornflakes. There might actually be something in the cornflakes. Not that I eat cornflakes. I think, especially for us Americans, society seems to be crumbling at the seams, I just watched all of this, like, Lego stuff. Did you guys hear about this Lego stuff? I don't know if you did. And there's, like, it's this whole thing where it's just kind of like this dumb little crime that this guy investigates, and then you just find out that there's just massive, like, corruption in the police to protect this guy's business with the Legos, and it's like insane, and you're like, and then you got Epstein shit going on, and you're like, it's just like, can anything be trusted? Can anything be trusted ever again? Can we trust anything? Yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I just watched that, like, just now, because I was I just watched all that, and it's nuts. And then, like, also, like, I have this thought of like, I've learned about, like, the psychology of happiness and, like, endorphins, and I think there's a lot of like having your phone and having, like, video games and, like, things to entertain yourself all the time, and it's like, I think it's just you get into this space where your mind expects stimulus and endorphins, and it automatically sort of it counterbalances, and my thought is that I'm in a depressive state every day because I have given myself a surplus of endorphins, and I'm just in a counterbalanced state. Sorry, I'm just talking mad shit, bro. I'm talking mad. This is not the point of this stream or this YouTube channel. Y'all just got me talking. But I'm glad you get the Lego thing. Yeah, no, that shit's crazy, dude. That shit is insane. I'm getting hot. Let's keep reading. Okay, who's talking right now? Somebody's about to speak, but I don't actually know who it is. Oh, said Boromir. Okay. I shall go to Minas Tirith, alone if need be, for it is my duty, said Boromir. And after that he was silent for a while, sitting with his eyes fixed on Frodo, as if he was trying to read the halfling's thoughts. At length he spoke again, softly, as if he was debating with himself. If you only wish to destroy the ring, he said, then there is little use in war and weapons, and the men of Minas Tirith cannot help. Oh, he's not super cocky all the time. But if you wish to destroy the armed might of the Dark Lord, then it is a folly to go without force into his domain, and folly to throw it away. He paused suddenly, as if he had become aware that he was speaking his thoughts aloud. Oh, hey, there it is. It would be folly to throw lives away, I mean. He ended. It is a choice between defending a strong place and walking openly into the arms of death. At least, that is how I see it. Okay, Boromir, maybe not that bad. Maybe Boromir's not that bad. Joy debt. There we go. That's a good way to put it. There's like a joy debt. I think the endorphins are. It's some shit. I like to overthink things. I go in deep on some shit sometimes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm glad you guys love the talk. I mean, the point is to have some talk, for sure. For sure, it is absolutely kind of the main drive of doing the live stream is having the fun and the engagement with everybody. Cool. Frodo caught something new and strange in Boromir's glance, and he looked hard at him. Plainly, Boromir's thought was different from his final words. It would be folly to throw away what? The ring of power. He had said something like this at the council, but then he had accepted the correction of Elrond. Frodo looked at Aragorn, but he seemed deep in his own thought, and made no sign that he had heeded Boromir's words. And so their debate ended. Merry and Pippin were already asleep, and Sam was nodding. The night was growing old. It's getting intense. See, shit's crazy in Middle Earth too. You know, world's falling apart everywhere. It's almost like a disaster's more exciting. Yeah. Thank you. People who aren't participating. Probably just sounds like filler. Yeah, right. Get with the program. Go watch my video, guy. No, I'm just kidding. If you're just listening for the Lord of the Rings, I appreciate you as well. We love Lord of the Rings. We absolutely do. Yeah, so I'm trying to work on that joy debt thing for sure. That's one big step for me. I think is if I can be happier or not happy, more mentally stable, it'll be easier for me to keep up stuff. You know what I mean? Is this still the first? This is the first movie. Yeah. Watched the first movie recently. It got half through the second. I fell asleep during the Two Towers and still need to finish. Yeah, long movies. Yeah. Yeah, this is still the first movie. So the books are sectioned into actually 6 books. So this is where it gets deceptive. It's 6 books. That's 6, right? Yeah, it's 6 books. And there's so basically 6 parts in Lord of the Rings. And the movies are based on each 2 parts. So the first 2 parts, book 1 and book 2, are Fellowship of the Ring. 3 and 4 are the Two Towers, and 5 and 6 are the Return of the King. So book 1 and book 2, Fellowship of the Ring. That's why I changed. I used to have to name the stream something different, and I changed it because I didn't realize how this was worked until I finished the first book, and I was like, oh. So yeah, we're still with the Fellowship. We're still with the Fellowship of the Ring. They are in Lorien, Lothlorien, or whatever that place is. I don't know. The second, that they go through Minas Tirith, and then there's the elves, and they hang out with for a bit. This is that, but like way more extent. Like there's a way more that happened, evidently. Yeah. There's the explanation. There you go. For anyone looking for the context, as it were. All right. In the morning. Wait, is that where I am? Yes, Pippin was. Yeah, Merry and Pippin were already asleep. Ooh. In the morning, as they were beginning to pack their slender goods, elves that could speak their tongue came to them and brought with them many gifts of food and clothing for the journey. The food was mostly in the form of very thin cakes made of a meal that was baked of a light. Oh, what am I reading? Made of a meal that was baked a light brown on the outside, and the inside was the color of cream. Gimli took up one of the cakes and looked at it with a doubtful eye. I'm Gimli. Cram, he said under his breath, as he broke off a crisp corner and nibbled at it. His expression quickly changed, and he ate all the rest of the cake with relish. No more, cried the elves, laughing. You have eaten enough already for a long day's march. I only thought it was a kind of cram, such as the Dale men make for journeys in the wild, said the dwarf. So it is, they answered, but we call it lembas, or whey bread, and it is more strengthening than any food made by men, and it is more pleasant than cram, by all accounts. Indeed it is, said Gimli. Why, it is better than honey cakes of the Bornings. Bornings? B-O-R-N-I-N-G-S. Than the honey cakes of the Burnings. And that is great praise. For the Burnings are the best bakers that I know of, and they are not too willing to deal out of their cakes to travelers in these days. You are kindly hosts. All the same, We bid you spare the food, they said. Eat a little at a time, and only at need, for these things are given to serve you when all else fails. The cakes will keep sweet for many days, and if they are unbroken and left in their leaf wrappings, as we have brought them, one will keep a traveler on his feet for a long one will keep his traveler on his feet for a day of long labor, even if he be one of the tall men of Minas Tirith. Oh! We just learned about lambus bread and how it works. Oh, because in the movies, I can't remember if it's Two Towers or Return of the King, but there's that scene where someone with when it's Frodo, Sam, and little gremlin man Gollum, and then they find out that somebody broke one of the lambus breads, and they get all pissed off, and Sam loses his mind or whatever, and it's like this crazy thing, and you're just like you're just like, why does it matter? I mean, yeah, it sucks that it's broken, I guess, but it's like, fine, you can still eat it. It's not a big deal. But apparently the whole point is that if it breaks, it doesn't last as long, I guess. If it breaks, it just doesn't last as long and it goes bad, I think. And that's why it's such a big deal. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Relish gets it. I can see why they cut some things. Tolkien seems to love describing cream cakes and great. Yeah, literally. But this is an important plot point later on, as shows up in the movies, apparently. Though I guess maybe it's different in the books, but probably not, right? Leave it to Tolkien to make the cake so specific and deliberate. The lambus spread. That is really funny, actually. Okay. Yeah, this sounds way better. And the movies are just like, wow, you broke my bread, you asshole. And we're just like, what is it? It's fine. It's fine. Ice and Fire built a story. Is that a book series? Sounds familiar. I don't know what that is. What is Ice and Fire? Oh, is it another fiction? So it is another fiction? Or Fantasy? Yeah. Yeah, Tolkien has some weird writing choices for sure. But the real thing that's so amazing about Tolkien is the world building, is the immersion. Oh, okay, it's Game of Thrones. I didn't know that. I have not really watched the Game of Thrones. I've not, or read the books. Maybe I'm a terrible person. I considered watching the shows. Sorry, it's a show. It's not a movie. It's not a movie. It's a show. I considered it, and then the ending was horrible, and I was like, never mind. Yes, thank you, Danger P. Thank you. Have a good sleep. I look forward to seeing you again in the future. You better get that timestamp on there. Yeah. We'll I'll get on that. Shit, I got stuff to do. But I need to get on that, actually. I do. It's true. Okay. Tolkien would have been a goated DM. So goated DM. That is so true. I'm pretty sure that he's the reason why D&D exists. Not him specifically, but like Lord of the Rings inspired fantasy, generally speaking, this genre, almost entirely, and a lot of the tropes in D&D, are based off of these Tolkien fantasy tropes, right? So yeah, he would have been an incredible DM. 100%. 100%. This is when Danger P leaves. I'm not gonna read through, scroll through my footage that much probably, but that would be fun. If I happen to get that timestamp, I will do it. Okay. Sorry, I'm getting distracted again. Lambus bread. The elves next unwrapped and gave to each of the company the clothes they had brought. For each they had provided a hood and a cloak, made according to his size, of the light but warm silken stuff that Galadrim wore. Oh, of the light but warm silken stuff that the Gladrium wove. Ah, fuck, I'm reading the sentence wrong. Of the light but warm silken stuff that the Gladrium wove. It was hard to say of what color they were. Gray with the hue of twilight, under the trees they seemed to be, and yet, if they were moved or set in another light, they were green as shadowed leaves, or brown as fallow fields by night, dusk silver as water under the stars. Each cloak was fastened about the neck with a brooch, like a green leaf, veined with silver. The classic brooch! The classic brooch! Fun fact, I've been to many weddings with I DJ weddings that are huge nerds, and they would have something. I've seen those at weddings, and it's great. It's fucking awesome. Are these magic cloaks? Asked Pippin. Wait, what does Pippin sound like? I'm Pippin. Well, what today, Frodo? Are these magic cloaks? No. I'm Irish. Are these magic cloaks? Asked Pippin, looking at them with wonder. I do not know what you mean by that, answered the leader of the elves. They are fair garments, and the web is good, for it was made in this land. They are elvish robes, certainly, if that is what you mean. Leaf and branch, water and stone, they have the hue and beauty of all these things under the twilight of Lorien that we make, under the twilight of Lorien that we love. For we put thought of all that we love into that we make. And yet they are garments, not armor, and they will not turn shaft or blade, but they should serve you well. They are light to wear. They are light to wear, and warm enough or cool enough at need, and you will find them a great aid in keeping out of the sight of unfriendly eyes. Whether you walk among the stones or the trees, you are indeed high in the favor of the lady, for she herself and her maidens wove this stuff, and never before have we clad strangers in the garb of our own people. Wow, how special! I think he would have been one of those hardcore. The dice tell this story. Close enough roll, DMs. It's a good question. I feel like I would lean to the dice tell the story, but at the same time, I feel like he wants things to go the way he wants them to go, you know, as a storyteller. So hard to say. I feel like he could actually be a bad DM in that he would be too railroady and too like not flexible enough, and be more about just having things go the way. Nah, probably not. No. I think he'd be a good GM. I think he'd be a good DM, but it's possible he wouldn't be. I think he would. I think he would be the DM that would say, if your reasoning is good enough, you don't need to roll. Oh, okay, yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Oh, you said I can see that too. My old DM used to do that with persuasion rolls a lot. If we made a good enough argument, it was a success. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. I feel like the tough thing with that, as someone who DM'd for the first time like last week or two, is that, like, you know, when you're playing a character, you are not necessarily your character, you know? Like, your character might be more charismatic than you or less charismatic than you, or you might be smarter or dumber than your character, you know? And there's certain things where it's like your character may be really dumb, and then you come up with a genius like thing, and I'm like, give me, you know, it's like, or your character might be really charismatic, and you're like, oh, I want to, like, hey, can I have this for free? And it's like, that's not convincing at all. It's where you just be like, give me this for free. But your character's really charismatic. You'd be like, okay, well, you're not necessarily your character, so I'd give you a persuasion roll for that, you know? I feel like I'm with that, but only to a certain degree, you know? I just DM'd for the first time, so now I'm thinking out loud about these DM things. Tolkien's the rule of cool. He is goated. You're right. He is goated. He's described as a shrewd man. Oh, so would he fudge rolls? Is that what I'm getting? He would be the guy. He would be the GM that fudges rolls. God damn it, Tolkien. No, I'm just kidding. Where were we? After their morning meal, the company said farewell to the lawn by the fountain. Their hearts were heavy, for it was a fair place, and it had become like a home to them, that they could not count the days and nights that they had passed there. As they stood for a moment, looking at the white water in the sunlight, Haldir came walking towards them over the green grass of the glade. Frodo greeted him with delight. Haldir's back. Fuck. How do we do this? I have returned from the northern. I'm Haldir, yes. I have returned from the northern fences, said the elf, and I am sent now to be your guide again. The Dimrill Dale is a crying baby. You might be able to hear that. I'm going to stop. I ran my own story. I ran my own story. I wanted to, because I really love world building. I really loved world building, and I wanted to test that out. It was a one-shot, and it was with a new group of players, so I didn't do anything crazy. I just did a kind of a basic little thing. Goblins, whatever, adventure, short little thing. And, but I did want to do it on my own, because I wanted to test the world building and running on my own, because that's what excites me the most about DMing. Like, I don't think I'm going to enjoy DMing as much if I'm just running a module, to be honest. So I wanted to do my own thing. So I did, technically I did I kind of engineered a whole, I didn't finish, I just got enough details to run this little one shot or whatever. But I engineered a whole world in my spell space setting. For this and there were some things I came up with. So it's technically part of my spell space world, which you can watch that video if you want. Yes, thank you. Well, okay, I technically DM'd once online a long time ago, so it's a lie to say it's my first. It's my first time in person, which was definitely a lot different. And the first time I DM'd online was a module, but online makes it a lot easier. Though it's different because improvising, we didn't print out maps. I drew on a thing that I bought. So maybe it's impressive, but it's not. I don't know if it's that impressive. Okay, I'm not trying to butter to make myself look really cool here. Okay, for the record. All right, for the record. Okay. Okay. But yeah, yes, it's my first time in person, with the new edition as well, I guess. But it was a while ago. It is, thank you. Yeah, I'm really great and cool and amazing. And that's all there is to it. Let's be real. I'm just freaking awesome. And that's the end of the story. Okay. Y'all just know how to butter a guy up, don't you? You just know how to butter a guy up. I appreciate it. Okay, we need to keep reading. Do we? Let's see. Okay, Frodo greeted him with delight. Oh yeah. I've returned from the northern fences, said the elf, and I am sent now to be your guide again. The Dimrill Dale is full of vapor and clouds of smoke, and the mountains are troubled. There are noises in the deeps of the earth. If any of you thought of returning northwards to your homes, you would not have been able to pass that way. But come, your path now goes south. As they walked through Caris Galadon, the green ways were empty, but in the trees above them many voices were murmuring and singing. They themselves went silently. At last Haldir led them down the southward slopes of the hill. They came again to the great gate hung with lamps, and to the white bridge, and so they passed out and left the city of the elves. They turned away from the paved road took a path that went off into a deep thicket of mallard trees and passed on, winding through rolling woodlands of silver shadow, leading them ever down, southwards and eastwards, towards the shores of the river. Played mostly online. It's so hard to RP as my character IRL when I felt so awkward to do a voice. Yeah, I guess it would make it more difficult. No, actually, that part was not hard. I did lack some consistency with the voices, but it was all mostly, to be honest, there was a lot of improvised stuff, so it was kind of casual and easy. But I do relate to being hard to keep your voice going. I mentioned that in my voice video, the last one that I made, that like D&D helped me get better at the actual performance, and staying in character and keeping the voice going, you know. It is awkward. It is awkward for sure. That's one reason I actually is kind of a thing, but that was one of my points in my video of why I'm so good at voices is just because D&D, like you can do cool voices, you can have a great voice, you can do cool accents, you can do all this stuff, but like being a character and staying in character and especially improvising and RPing as a character is surprisingly difficult. And playing D&D and trying to do a voice while doing a character vastly improved my voiceover skills. Vastly improved. So if you want to get better at voices, do D&D and commit to an accent or something, just because it'll flex your voice skills. Or don't give a shit, because not everybody wants to be a voice actor, okay, or cares about voices like me. I don't think I could ever do in-person D&D. Yeah. No, there's some people that don't like it. I had a friend who I played online with a lot who did not want to ever do an in-person session. I'm sure he would consider it for sure because he loves D&D, you know, but he lives in a different state. I think he would play with me and my friend potentially, but he's not into which is relatable because it's a little more of a different experience, I think, online versus in person. Stopping in on lunch break. Thank you. I'm trying to keep my momentum up. I'm doing my best. Some of my viewers are putting me to shame, it sounds like, to be honest, but I'm doing my best. Thank you for stopping in. A&R streaming. Thank you. I'm going to keep reading to fulfill the original plan of the stream, which is to read this wonderful book. Thank you. Playing as a Scottish priest cleric in my friend's campaign. Ooh, yeah, yep. I believe in you. You got this. That's great. Yeah, it gets easier with time. Relis has a great point. It gets much easier with time. That's why you do it. It's why you do it. And when you screw up the voices, don't worry about it. You know, you're not being recorded. Unless you're recording it, then you still got to embrace messing up, because what are you going to do about it? But no, commit to it. Don't give up on the voice. Just be like Scottish. Just keep doing it. Yes. Thank you. Great voice. That is that I love it when people compliment my voice more than anything, to be honest. That's one reason I go to weddings and I do my crazy announcements, so people compliment my voice. I get complimented at like every one, and I live for that shit. At my wedding yesterday, multiple ladies were like, "Wow, your announcement voice is really amazing," and I was like, "Yeah, it is." Like, okay. Sorry, I'm getting distracted again. Chat is so interesting. You guys are making this such an exciting stream for me. Yeah, Scottish Priest does sound fucking awesome, actually. That does sound pretty fantastic. I agree with that. Just picture Glasgow, and there you have the voice I do. I don't know what... I should know what that is. I'm a terrible person for Glasgow. Oh, okay. That's the Scotland. It's a place in Scotland. I knew that. I'm a little better at Irish, if I'm honest. And voice acting commitment is the cure. Yes. Yeah. For sure. 100. Which is one reason why I need to be in a good mood when I live stream, because when I'm doing this, because otherwise I'm going to lose motivation and not commit. Like when the song comes up and oh god, one page. Fuck. There's a song. I looked ahead this time. I did not prepare or anything, but I just wanted to see if I had to sing, and I do. It sucks. Okay, where am I at? They had gone some 10 miles, and at noon, They had gone some 10 miles, and noon was at hand. Oh, fuck! They had gone some 10 miles, and noon was at hand when they came on a high green wall. Passing through an opening, they came suddenly out of the trees. Before them lay a long lawn of shining grass, studded with golden Eleanor that glinted in the sun. The lawn ran into a narrow tongue between bright margins. On the right and west of the silver lode flowed glitter. Oh, that's the wrong sentence. On the right and west the silver lode flowed glittering. On the left and east the great river rolled its broad waters deep and dark. On the further shores the woodlands still marched on southwards as far as the eye could see. But all the banks were bleak and bare. No mallard lifted its gold-hung bows beyond the land of Lorien. On the bank of the silver lode, at some distance up from the meeting of the streams, there was a hithe of white stones and white wood. By it were moored many boats and barges. Some were brightly painted, and shone with silver and gold and green, but most were either white or gray. 3 small gray boats had been made ready for the travelers, and in these the elves stowed their goods. And they added also coils of rope, 3 to each boat. Slender they looked, but strong, silken to the touch, Slender they looked, but strong, silken to the touch, gray of hue, like the elven cloaks. Bam! I do a good Lancaster. Yeah, more singing? No. No. I mean, yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to commit to the bit. I'm not good at singing, okay? You guys have complimented me in the past when I've done it, but maybe if I'm Will of the Voice, I need to actually get better at singing. Now that this is my whole shtick, maybe I actually need to get better at singing. Should I get lessons from a singing coach? Should I figure that out? It might be something to consider because I am Will of the Voice now, right? Okay, where are we at? Oh, Sam. Okay. Oh, we got Sam, Mr. Frodo. Sorry, I got to get the voice ready. What are these? Asked Sam, handling one that lay upon the greensward. Ropes indeed, answered an elf from the boats. Never travel far without a rope, and one that is long and strong and light. Such are these. They may be a help in many needs. You don't need to tell me that. Said Sam. I came without any, and I've been worried ever since. But I was wondering what these were. Made of. Knowing a bit about rope making. It's in the family, as you might say. These are made of hithlain, said the elf. But there is no time now to instruct you in the art of their making. Had we known that this craft delighted you, we could have taught you much. But now, alas, unless you should at some time return hither, you must be content with our gift. May it serve you well. Come, said Haldir. All is now ready for you. Enter the boats, but take care at first. Heed the words, said the other elves. These boats are light built, and they are crafty, and unlike the boats of other folk. They will not sink, and lay them as you will, but they are wayward if mishandled. It would be wise if you accustom yourselves to stepping in and out, here where there is a landing place, before you set off downstream. Literally Tolkien describing how the little boats work that they were given by the elves, and the details of figuring out how to make sure you don't screw up with the boat. And that's when Tolkien asks you for a dexterity check, or an acrobatics, to make sure you don't, or maybe a dexterity saving throw. Singing, 0 advice. Thank you very much. You have a gruffish voice, so singing it like a sea shanty might fix it. Yo ho. Just put your points into the singing skill tree. Boom. Easy. I'll be a musician. I'll be a musician. Sam and Frodo at it again. Back to work. Happy days. If you're still here, thank you. A&R. Have a great one. Have a nice day. Have a nice day. Thank you for joining us. Whew, okay. The company was arranged in this way. Aragorn, Frodo, and Sam were in one boat. Boromir, Merry, and Pippin in another. And in the third were Legolas and Gimli, who had now become fast friends. Love it. Love it. In this last boat, most of the goods and packs were stowed. The boats were moved and steered with short-handled paddles that had broad leaf-shaped blades. When all were ready, Aragorn led them up on a trial up the Silverlode. Nope, that is the wrong sentence. When all was ready, Aragorn led them on a trial up the Silverlode. The current was swift, and they went forward slowly. Sam sat in the bows, clutching the sides, and looking back wistfully to the shore. The sunlight glittering on the water dazzled his eyes. As they passed beyond the green field of the Tongue, and the trees drew down to the river's bank, here and there golden leaves tossed and floated on the rippling stream. The air was very bright and still, and there was a silence, except for the high distant song of larks. Oh yeah, we got Colby. Colby's my friend. Colby! Sorry, I just glossed over that. Colby. Hey. Okay, where am I at? Sorry. They turned a sharp bend in the river, and there, sailing proudly down the stream towards them, they saw a swan of great size. The water rippled on either side of the white breast beneath its curving neck. Its beak shone like burnished gold, and its eyes glinted like jet set in yellow stones. Its huge white wings were half lifted, and music came down the river as it drew nearer. And suddenly they perceived that it was a ship wrought and carved with elven skill in the likeness of a bird. Two elves clad in white steered it with black paddles. In the midst of the vessel sat Celeborn, and behind him stood Galadriel, tall and white. A circlet of golden flowers was in her hair, and in her hand she held a harp, and she sang. Sad and sweet was the sound of her voice in the cool, clear air. Sad and sweet. Sad and sweet, singing as Galadriel. I don't do the lady voices well either, so I have to do the lady voice singing sad and sweet for this one. Luckily, it's not like 2 to 3 fucking pages, so... Okay. Okay. Galadriel. Yes, Galadriel speaks like this. I sang of leaves and gold. Fuck. It's like I have to come up with notes on the spot. That's the worst part. Because I don't have a natural, like, sense in my head, like, perfect pitch. I could be like, oh, I can control my voice perfectly. I'm just... Okay. I sang of leaves of gold, and leaves of gold there grew, and leaves of gold there grew. Of wind I sang, a wind there came, and in the branches blew. Beyond the sun, beyond the moon, the foam was on the sea, and by the strand of Ilmarinen there grew a golden tree. Beneath the stars of ever eve, in Eldamar it shone, in Eldamar beside the walls of elven Tirion. There long the golden leaves have grown upon the branching years, while here beyond the sundering seas now fall the elven tears. O Lorien. Fuck. There's an exclamation point. What does that denote in the sound? Does the note go up with the... O Lorien, the winter comes, the bare and leafless day, the bare and leafless day. The leaves are falling in the stream, the river flows away. I gotta be sad. That was so off key. The leaves are falling in the stream. The river flows away. Oh, Lorien, too long I have dwelt upon this hither shore, and in a fading crown have twinned the golden Eleanor. But if of ships I now should sing, what ship would come to me? What ship would come to me? What ship would come to me? What ship would bear me ever back across so wide a sea? We made it through the song! I'm pretty sure there's another one in this chapter. But this is what the viewers want. Guys, if you want me to stop singing, all you have to do is say, I'm telling you, I will stop as soon as you tell me to stop singing. I will just read it. Okay? And then there's that guy clapping. Just tell me you hate it. That would make it easier for me. No, I'm just kidding. It was not good. That was not good. Yeah, no. Thank you for tolerating that and applauding me. Okay, let's move on. Let's not dwell on this. Fuck, I dropped my... I have a separator that I crafted so I can keep the pages open. Though I haven't needed it as much lately, I think. All right, don't worry. There's another song for you guys later. You're going to love it. You're going to love the second song. That sounds exactly the same as that one. I think it's a song. It might just be poetry, hopefully. That would be ideal. Aragorn stayed his boat as his swan ship drew alongside. The lady ended her song and greeted them. We have come to bid you our last farewell. We have come to bid you our last farewell, she said, and to speed you with blessings from our land. Woohoo! Yeah, okay, thank you. No, I mean, thank you. Thank you for the support. The support is good. The support is good, okay? The support is good. But you could also just tell me to stop singing, and I will. Okay. But I have a feeling no one's going to say that, unfortunately for me. All right. Book. Though you have been our guests, said Celeborn, you have not yet eaten with us, and we bid you, therefore, to a parting feast, here between the flowing waters, that will bear you far from Lorien. Jeez, dude, what is this? What is this vacation? They just get this incredible vacation. They're like, we're going to feed you on magical boats in the middle of the river while you're being sung to by the beautiful Galadriel. It's like, geez, man. Jeez, what is this? The Epstein's Island? Like, no, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry. That was a weird joke. God damn. Hopefully there's nothing bad going on like there was at that place. Yeah. Disney cruise. That's a better way to put it. Disney cruise. Disney cruise. That was a terrible joke. Disney cruise. Let's go with that one. Sorry. That was a horrible joke. Okay. We're gonna move on. The swan passed slowly to the hive? Hive? The swan passed on slowly to the hive, and they turned their boats and followed it. There, in the last end of Egladil, upon the green grass, the parting feast was held, but Frodo ate and drank little, heeding only the beauty of the lady and her voice. The difference is Galadriel is definitely of age. She's like thousands of years old, so it's good. It's all good. It's not weird. You know, it's normal with in this case, for sure, you know. In fact, all the elves are probably super old, so even if there was illicit activities, maybe it wouldn't be... I need to stop with his joke. Okay. This joke needs to end. We don't like Epstein here. And the elves, and there's this. I just I just keep digging. Okay. She seemed no longer perilous or terrible, nor filled with hidden power. Already she seemed to him, as by men of later days, elves still at times are seen, present and yet remote, a living version of that which has already been left far behind by the flowing streams of time. Put the shovel down. Yes, we did. We're putting it down. After they had eaten and drunk, sitting upon the grass, Celeborn spoke to them again of their journey, and lifting his hand, he pointed south to the woods beyond the tongue. As you go down the water, he said, you will find that the trees will fail, and you will come to a barren country. There the river flows in stony vales, amid high moors, until at last, after many leagues, it comes to the tall island of Tindrock that we call Tolbrandir. So many names. There it casts its arms about the steep shores of the isle, and falls then with a great noise and smoke over the cataracts of Raurus down into Nindalf, the wet wing, as it is called in your tongue. That is a wide region of sluggish fen, where the stream becomes tortuous and much divided. There the Entwash flows in by many mouths from the forest of Fanghorn in the west. About that stream, on this side of the great river, lies Rohan. On the further side are the bleak hills of the Emyn Muir. On the further side of the bleak hills of the Emyn Muir. On the further side are fuck. Let's take a break. That's what we call a little Saint. Well, that's what we call Toll Branded, little Saint. Okay. Fuck. Let me finish. Let me do this fucking sentence. Okay. On the further side are the bleak hills of the Emyn Muir. The wind blows from the east there, and they look out over the dead marshes and the Noman lands to Cirith Gorga and the black gates of Mordor. Boromir and any that go with him seeking Minas Tirith will do well to leave the great river above Rauros. Fuck these names. Above Rauros. Above Rauros, and cross the Entwash before it finds the marshes. Yet they should not go too far up that stream, nor risk becoming entangled in the forest of Fangorn. That is a strange land, and is little known, but Boromir and Aragorn doubtless do not need this warning. Indeed, we have heard of Fangorn in Minas Tirith, said Boromir, but what I have heard seems to me, for the most part, old wives' tales, such as we tell our children. All that lies north of Rohan is now to us so far away that fancy can wander freely there. Of old Fangorn lies upon the borders of our realm, but it is now many lives of men since any of us visited it, to prove or disprove the legends that have come down from distant years. I have myself been at whiles in Rohan, but I have never crossed it northwards. When I was sent out as a messenger, I passed through the gap by the skirts of the White Mountains, and crossed the Isen and the Grey Flood into northern land. A long and wearisome journey. 400 leagues I reckoned it, and it took me many months, for I lost my horse at Tharbad, at the fording of the Grey Flood. After that journey, and the road I have trodden with this company, I do not much doubt that I shall find a way through Rohan, and Fanghorn too,
if need be. Then I say no more, said Celeborn, but do not despise the lore that has come down from distant years, for oft it may chance that old wives keep in memory word of things that once were needful for the wise to know.
So poetic, these elves. Damn, dude, I made that Epstein joke and everyone stopped talking. Listen, that was a joke. Well, I made it to 970 before I got canceled. No, okay, all right, let's keep going. That's the other thing about being a content creator is terrifying. It's like, okay, well, I did it. Now, everyone's going to uncover the massive history of everything I've said and find something horrible that I said. And it's going to be miserable. It's going to just be like, I got started and immediately got canceled. But you know what? Hey, if we've learned anything, it's that horrible content creators can get away with anything. So I'm good. I'm not a horrible person. Okay, guys, I promise. And if I am, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. If I am a horrible person, which I don't think I am, I will apologize for it. If that comes up. Okay. No, you're good. No, this is supposed to be background noise. It's just my personal crazy. You know what I mean? Okay. Okay, here we go. Now Galadriel rose from the grass, and taking a cup from one of her maidens, she filled it with white mead and gave it to Celeborn. Now it is time to drink the cup of farewell, she said. Drink, Lord of the Galadrim, and let not your heart be sad, though night must follow noon, and already our evening draweth nigh. Then she brought the cup to each of the company, and bade them drink in farewell. But when they had drunk, she commanded them to sit again on the grass, and chairs were set for her and for Celeborn. Her maidens stood silent about her, and a while she looked upon her guests. At last she spoke again. We have drunk the cup of parting, she said, and the shadows fall between us. But before you go, I have brought in my ship gifts which the Lord and Lady of the Galadrim now offer you in memory of Lothlorien. Then she called to each in turn. Here is the gift of Celeborn and Galadriel, the leader of your company, she said to Aragorn, and gave him a sheath that had been made to fit his sword. It was overlaid with a tracery of It was overlaid with a tracery of flowers and leaves wrought of silver and gold, and on it were set in elven runes, formed of many gems in the name Anduril and the lineage of the sword. City Skylines? You're playing City Skylines? Playing Quake? Ooh, we got some gamers in here. We love that. That's optimal. I think that's optimal. Gaming while listening to this, that's optimal for sure. For sure. 100%. Okay, where are we at? The blade that is drawn from this sheath shall not be stained or broken even in defeat, she said. But is there aught else that you desire of me at our painting? But is there aught else that you desire of me at our parting? For darkness will flow between us, and it may be that we shall not meet again, unless it be far hence, upon a road that has no returning. And Aragorn answered, Lady, you know all my desire, and long held in keeping the only treasure that I seek, yet it is not yours to give me, even if you would, and only through darkness shall I come to it. Yet, maybe, this will lighten your heart, said Galadriel, for it was left in my care
to be given to you, should you pass through this land. Then she lifted from her lap a great stone of a clear green, set in a silver brooch that was wrought in the likeness of an eagle with outspread wings. And as she held it up, the gem flashed like the sun shining through the leaves of spring. This stone I gave to Celebrine, my daughter, and she to hers. Celebrine. This stone I gave to Celebrine, my daughter, and she to hers, and now it comes to you as a token of hope. In this hour, take the name that was foretold to you, Elisar, the Elfstone of the house of Elendil.
Oh my god. The Optimal Gamer. I've been through Rortimer on a horse with no name. I've been through Mortimer on a horse with no name. It felt good to be out of the fay. I don't know why I did that with a southern accent. I've been through Rortimer on a horse with no name. Okay. Unoptimized. No, you're optimized. You're optimized, dude. If you're gaming while watching a live stream about Lord of the Rings, okay, no one can question you. I don't care what the game is. Even if it's City Skylines. No, I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. I've never played City Skylines. I don't know anything about it. I have no idea what that is, if I'm being completely honest. I know what Quake is. I've not played Quake. I know it's pretty competitive. I'm pretty sure. Whatever. Okay. I didn't know it was like that. That's when I play. Oh, you guys are conversating. That's great. We love it. More singing. No. No, stop. No more. Okay, where are we at? Then Aragorn took the stone and pinned the brooch upon his breast, and those who saw him wondered, for they had not marked before how tall and kingly he stood, and it seemed to them that many years of toil had fallen from his shoulders. For the gifts that you have given me, I thank you. Fuck. See, the problem with Aragorn is I think he sounds a little too much like me, actually. It's just like me with an accent, and for some reason that makes it harder for me to do. Like if I do a voice that is like different, I feel like it's easier for me for some reason. Like doing my own voice is hard. The narration has been fairly difficult, but I'm doing good at it now. But doing my close to my voice is hard. I am Aragorn. Yes, of course, I am Aragorn. For the gift that you have given me, I thank you, he said, O Lady of Lorien, of whom were sprung Celebrian, and Arwen Evenstar. What praise could I say more? The lady bowed her head, and she turned then to Boromir, and to him she gave a belt of gold, and to Merry and Pippin she gave small silver belts, each with a clasp wrought like a golden flower. To Legolas she gave a bow, such as the Galadrim used, longer and stouter than the bows of Mirkwood, and strung with a string of elf hair. With it went the quiver of arrows. Elf hair? Why is it weird to string your bow with your own hair? That seems weird to me. Probably isn't, I guess. Seems weird to me. Me with an accent. You've described a voice actor. No, I mean like I put in effort in my voices, okay, when I'm trying to... Oh yeah, Relis, where your character was Aragorn, yeah. Well, it's just... I put in some character into the characters, you know, and when I'm trying to... Like, Boromir is a similar thing, but he's like got like this thing to him. Whereas like Aragorn, I feel like is a more down-to-earth human, you know, like a more normal guy just talking, you know what I mean? But he's cool at the same time. It's kind of hard to corner that, you know, for some reason, because I suck. No, actually, I'm really great. Okay. I tried to work on my self-talk a long time ago, and I dabble back into it every once in a while.
For you, little gardener and lover of trees, she said to Sam, I have only a small gift. She put into his hand a little box of plain gray wood, unadorned save for a single silver rune upon the lid. Here is set G for Galadriel, she said, but it also may stand for garden in your tongue. In this box there is earth from my orchard, and such blessings as Galadriel has still to bestow upon it. It will not keep you on your road, nor defend you against any peril. But if you keep it and see your home again at last, then perhaps it may reward you. Though you should find all barren and laid waste, there will be few gardens in Middle Earth that will bloom like your garden. If you sprinkle this earth there, then you may remember Galadriel, and catch a glimpse far off of Lorien, that you have seen only in our winter, for our spring and summer are gone by, and they will never be seen on earth again, save in memory.
Oh, it's weird. It's weird, yeah. Tree hugger. Yeah, frickin' Sam. Sam gets a lot of attention. You know, Sam was obviously an important character in the movies and the books, but as I'm reading the book, it feels like what happened is, as Tolkien was writing, it was like, okay, you got Frodo, who is the adopted son of his old character, Bilbo, and then Frodo was like, well, Frodo's supposed to be this like likable, like charismatic little hobbit guy, and so he wanted to have a bunch of like a few hobbit friends to go with him, because it's like he's a likable guy with good friends, you know. And so he came up with these hobbits to go with him, including one of them was the gardener. And it just feels like, as Tolkien has written, he has enjoyed Sam more as a character and put more attention into Sam as the book has progressed, because he just has appreciated the charm of Sam as a character, you know. I don't know if he planned it. Maybe he did, but it just feels like Sam's getting a little more of that attention as the book goes on. Like, you know, Merry and Pippin get a little sentence there, you know, silver belts. Hey, nice. But Sam gets a whole paragraph and a description of gardening tools and stuff. You know, it's great. I love it. I actually love it. Gifthorn. Or sorry, did I say that right? I can't remember. I feel like we agreed on a name, but I forgot what it was. Thank you for joining. Yeah, I had to swap off a Monday because this week I'm working on Monday and Tuesday. I was thinking about doing Tuesday, but I have to work on Tuesday as well. Who do you think Tolkien's stand-in is? It might be Sam, actually. Actually, it might be Sam. It might be. Or Gandalf. Or Gandalf, because Gandalf is just the lore dump guy. You know what I mean? So it could be Gandalf. I think... Oh, Genesis. There we go. That's what it was. Okay. Yes. Sorry. You got to change your YouTube name to reflect that. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. All right. Sam. We love Sam. Oh, yeah, here we go. Sam went red to the ears and muttered something inaudible as he clutched the box and bowed as well as he could. And what gift would a dwarf ask of the elves? Said Galadriel, turning to Gimli. Gimli says, None, lady, answered Gimli. It is enough for me to have seen the lady of Galadrim, and to have heard her gentle words. Hear ye all elves, she cried to those about her. Let none say again that dwarves are grasping and ungracious. Yet surely, Gimli, son of Glowing, you desire something that I could give. Name it, I bid you. You shall not be the only guest without a gift. There is nothing, Lady Galadriel, said Gimli, bowing low and stammering. Nothing, unless it is permitted to ask, nay, to name a single strand of your hair, which surpasses the gold of the earth, as the stars surpass the gems of the mine.
I do not ask for such a gift, but you command me to name my desire. Sorry. Got an email. Worthless email. Not worth my attention. Gith Yankee. We love Gith Yankee. Genesis. It remains to be seen. Okay. Where are we at? Oh yeah, Gimli asked for her hair because he's a fucking creep. Okay, I'm just kidding. Sorry. Single strand of your hair. Do not command me to name my desire. The elves stirred and murmured with astonishment. Yeah, no kidding, right? And Celeborn gazed at the dwarf in wonder, but the lady smiled. It is said that the skill of the dwarves is in their hands rather than their tongues, she said. Yet that is not true of Gimli, for none have ever made me a request so bold, and yet so courteous. How shall I refuse, since I commanded him to speak? But tell me, what would you do with such a gift? Treasure it, lady, he answered, in memory of your words to me at our first meeting. And if I ever return to the smithies of my home, it shall be set in an imperishable crystal, to be an heirloom of my house, and a pledge of goodwill between the mountain and the wood until the end of days. Damn. Gimli's got game. Gimli the Gooner. Gimli the Gooner or Gimli the Chad. You know, picking up the ladies. Yeah, he's one of those two. It's a fine line between Gooner and Chad. No, okay. Okay. Okay, yeah. Then the lady unbraided one of her long tresses and cut off 3 golden hairs and laid them in Gimli's hand. These words shall go with the gift, she said. I do not foretell, for all foretelling is now vain. On the one hand lies darkness, and on the other only hope. But if hope should not fail, then I say to you, Gimli, son of Glowing, that your hands shall flow with gold, and yet over you gold shall have no dominion. Ooh. No, it's not pirate inspired. What are you talking about? You're crazy. Well, listen, okay. I've noticed in fiction sometimes dwarves sound vaguely like pirates, okay? So I thought I would do it. I'm trying to make it sound more not piratey, to be honest. That is, you're onto my secret, that guy, okay? You weren't supposed to notice. Okay, I gotta do Gimli better now. Okay, whatever. Let's see. And you, ring bearer, she said, turning to Frodo. I come to you last, who are not last in my thoughts. For you, I've prepared this. She held up a small crystal phial. It glittered as she moved it. Rays of white light sprang from her hand. In this phial, she said, is caught the light of Erendil's star, set amid the waters of my fountain. It will shine brighter when night is about you. May it be a light to you in dark places when all other lights go out. Remember Galadriel and her mirror. Frodo took the phial, and for a moment it shone between them. He saw her again, standing like a queen, great and beautiful, but no longer terrible. He bowed, but found no words to say. I'll keep it hush-hush. Now the lady arose, And Celeborn led them back to the hive. A yellow noon lay on the green land of the tongue, and the water glittered with silver. At last was made ready. All at last was made ready. The company took their places in the boats as before. Crying farewell, the elves of Lorien, with long grey poles, thrust them out into the flowing stream, and the rippling waters bore them slowly away. The travelers sat still without moving or speaking. On the green bank, near to the very point of the tongue, the lady Galadriel stood alone and silent. As they passed her, they turned, and their eyes watched her slowly floating away from them. For so it seemed to them, Lorien was slipping backward, like a bright ship masted with enchanted trees, sailing on to forgotten shores, while they sat helpless upon the margin of the grey and leafless world. Even as they gazed, the silver load passed out into the currents of the great river, and the boats turned and began to speed southward. Soon the white foam of the lady was small and distant. She shone like a widow of glass upon a fair hill. Oh, widow. What am I saying? She shone like a window of glass upon a far hill in the westering sun, or as a remote lake seen from a mountain, a crystal fallen in the lap of the land. Then it seemed to Frodo that she lifted her arms in a final farewell, and far but piercing clear on the following wind came the sound of her voice singing. But now she sang in an ancient tongue of the elves beyond the sea, and he did not understand the words. Fair was the music, but it did not comfort him. Yet, as is the way of elvish words, they remained graven in his memory, and long afterwards he interpreted them as well as he could. The language was that of elven song, and spoke of things little known on Middle-earth. Not only is it a song, it's in Elvish. God damn it. I don't know how to read Elvish, and I have to sing it. True philosophy, yes. I don't know what you're talking about, but it's true. Philosophically, philosopher. You and try. Oh, God. Okay. Okay, here we go. Oh, God, dude. Okay, so... Lari lantar lasi surinen yeni unotime veramar aldaron. No, this one's gonna be bad. Don't even have. Y'all support me no matter what. So thank you. But just God, this is literally in Elvish. Okay, I don't even know what Elvish is supposed to sound like. I'm just reading the letters as they seem to be. That's all I'm doing. Okay, but I'm doing it as Galadriel. Wait. Okay, so wait, who actually sang it? Was it Galadriel? Oh, yeah, she was singing far away, but piercing clear. Okay. I'm Galadriel, and I'm speaking Elvish now. Yes, I, Lari Lantar Lasi Surinen, Yeni Unotime. Fuck, what are these words? Yeni, I'm Galadriel, Yeni Unotime, Veramar Alderon. Veni velinte, Yuldar avenir, mi oromadir, lise miruvoreva, adune pera. I'm doing Spanish now. Okay. Adune pera, vardo telumar. Nuluini asen tintilar aelini Amario Amario eretari lirinen. Siman iulmanin equantuva. God, guys, I can't even. This is rough. Ansi tintale varda oiloseo vefanyar mariat erentari ordane ar ilietier undaleve lumbure ar sinaro ielo caita mornie ai fal malinar imbemet arhisie untupa untupa. Like, what am I doing? What am I doing? A shitty Navi here? Like, okay. Untupa kala serio miri oyale sivan wana romelo vanwa varimar namarie nahiru valye varimar naelye hiruva namarie. God, thank God. I'm just glad it wasn't like 2 fucking pages like some of the other ones have been. Like, my God. That's it. We're done. We made it. Woo. Okay. They're leaving the elves now, which is a good sign because that means probably less singing. Knowing Tolkien, there will still be singing. There will still be singing, but the elves definitely encourage more singing, I think. So I think the singing's going to slow down a little bit finally. Okay. Well, thank you. Wait, I did this wrong actually. No, I'm just kidding. All right, let's sing it again, folks. Let's sing it again. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you for the applause. Yes, I'm a talented performer of this singing variety. Yes, very quite talented. Yes. Okay, let's keep going. Let's not get too distracted. Okay. Actually, there's someone talking here, but I don't know who it is. What? Is it her voice? We don't actually... Wait, who the fuck is talking? Varda is the name of that lady. What? Wait, I don't actually know who's talking right now. Wait, who the fuck is this? Long years numberless as the winged trees. The years have passed like swift drops. Huh. Dude, I don't actually know who's fucking saying this right now. It's not Galadriel. Okay, sorry. I didn't mean to. We've been scammed. What? What do you mean scammed? I haven't scammed anybody, okay? That was not AI. That was real. No, that was real, unfortunately. I don't actually know who the fuck is saying this. There's a whole fucking paragraph of somebody talking, but I literally don't know who it is. Well, Varda is the name of that lady whom the elves in these lands of exile name Elbereth. All right, well, we're just going to read it like an elf because I think that's my best guess. Sorry, that was a big fucking pause of nothing there. I don't know who's saying this. We're just going to read it like an elf. The gold leaves. Like gold leaf. Sorry, I'm fucking reading a sentence. Here we go. Let's do this. Okay. Like gold fall the leaves in the wind, long years numberless as the wings of trees. The years have passed like swift draughts. of the sweet mead in lofty halls beyond the west, beneath the blue vaults of Varda, wherein the stars tremble in the song of her voice, holy and queenly. Who now shall refill the cup for me? For now the kindler, Varda, the queen of the stars, from Mount Everwhite has uplifted her hands like clouds, and all paths are drowned deep in shadow, and out of a grey country darkness lies on the foaming waves between us, and mist covers the jewels of Calasyria forever. Now lost to those from the east is Valamar. Farewell.
Is this might be her. This might be Galadriel, actually. I don't know.
Farewell.
And that's the end of the quotation, so I guess this is just regular. Varda is the name of that lady whom the elves in these lands exile name Elbereth. Tolkien! Come on, bro! Come on, bro! See what I'm telling you? He is not a perfect writer, okay? Incredible world builder and storyteller. And probably a fantastic DM if we have come to the right agreement here, but tell me who's reading it. Okay. Suddenly the river swept round a bend, and the banks rose upon either side, and the light of Lorien was hidden. To that fair land Frodo never came again. The travelers now turned their faces to the journey. The sun was before them, and their eyes were dazzled, for all were filled with tears. Gimli wept openly. I have looked last upon that which is fairest, he said to Legolas his companion. Henceforth I will call nothing fair, unless it be her gift. He put his hand on his breast. Tell me, Legolas, why did I come on this quest? Little did I know where the chief peril lay. Truly Elrond spoke, saying that we could not foresee what we might meet upon our road. Torment in the dark, and the danger that I feared, it did not hold me back. But I would not have come, had I known the danger of light and joy. Now I have taken my worst wound in this parting, even if I were to go this night straight to the Dark Lord. Alas, for Gimli, son of Clóin. I don't know how to. I'm not good at crying. Maybe that's why I shouldn't be a voice actor. Okay. Nay, Legolas, I forget. He sounds like this. Nay, said Legolas. He just sounds like a fucking elf. I don't know. Alas for us all, for all that walk the world in these after days, for such is the way of it, to find and lose, as it seems to those whose boat is running the stream, whose boat is on the running stream. But I count you blessed, Gimli, son of Glóin. For your loss you suffer of your own free will, and you might have chosen otherwise, but you have not forsaken your companions. I should probably read that again because fucking Discord sound went off. But I count you blessed, Gimli, son of Glóin. For your loss you suffer your own free will. And you might have chosen otherwise, but you have not forsaken your companions. And at last, and the least reward that you shall have is that the memory of Lothlorien shall remain ever clear and untainted in your heart, and shall neither fade nor grow stale. Maybe, said Gimli. I thank you for your kind words. I thank you for your words. True words, doubtless. Yet all such comfort is cold. Memory is not what the heart desires. That is only a mirror, be it clear as Khazad-Zarum, or so says the heart of Gimli the dwarf. Elves may see things otherwise. Indeed, I have heard that for them memory is more like the waking world than to a dream. Not so for dwarves. But let us talk no more of it. Look to the boat. She is low in the water with all this baggage, and the great river is swift.
I do not wish to drown my grief in cold water.
Sounding too pirate. I want to be not pirate.
I do not wish to drown my grief in cold water. He took up a paddle and steered towards the western bank, following Aragorn's boat ahead, which had already moved out of the middle stream. So the company went on their long way, down the wide, hurrying waters, borne ever southwards. Bare woods stalked along either bank, and they could not see any glimpse of the lands behind. The breeze died away, and the river flowed without a sound. No voice of bird broke the silence. The sun grew misty as the day grew old, until it gleamed in a pale sky like a high white pearl. Then it faded into the west, and dusk came early, followed by a gray and starless night. Far into the dark, quiet hours they floated on, guiding their boats under the overhanging shadows of the western woods. Great trees passed by like ghosts, thrusting their twisted, thirsty roots through the mist down into the water. It was dreary and cold. Frodo sat and listened to the faint lap and gurgle of the river fretting among the tree roots and driftwood near the shore, till his head nodded and he fell into an uneasy sleep.
Bam! Bam! End of the chapter. That's it. That's chapter 8. That took nearly 2 hours. God damn. That being said, we did go slow because there's a lot of chat talk, which is great. We love that. But that is 2 hours, so I'm definitely not doing another chapter because it could take another 2 hours or hour or whatever. Not doing another one. Much like a pirate, Gimli is a slob and likes his ale. Yeah, true. But he's got a little finesse to him, you know? Like, I feel like Barbossa's like a pirate, a sloppy pirate, but he's got some, like, finesse to him, too, you know? Just like a little bit. Like he's a closet flirt, you know what I mean? So, yeah, it fits. I'm trying to differentiate it a little bit, you know? Just a little bit. I call it stretching my voiceover skills, you know? Taking a similar voice and trying to make it a little more distinct, you know? Seems like a good way to do it, right? Some pizzazz. Thank you. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We had to endure a couple of songs, but we enjoy our songs here, or at least you guys do. Yeah, it was fun. I was in a good mood, had a good time. It was great. So yeah, thank you everybody for hanging out during that. That was fantastic. We like the Lord of the Rings stream. You know, it's some good content to provide the wonderful folk of the Will of the Voice subscriber base. And you know, is actually kind of a content that fits my channel's theme. You know, unlike the other stuff. Well, the other stuff kind of matches. It's fine. You love the shirt? Dude, I love this shirt too. I have to rewatch. Yeah, sorry. I had to change the day because I skipped last week on Monday, which I felt bad for. And then this week I had to work on Monday again. And I was like, well, I can't skip again. So I decided to do it today instead because I couldn't do it tomorrow. I don't want to keep skipping, you know? That's terrible and we don't want to do it. Okay, wait. Here, let me show you my shirt. Ooh, bam. It's got like this weird like the end of the shirt is like kind of unseamed, right? And it kind of rolls, but I like it. I actually like how that is, even though it's like they didn't really seam the shirt, so it's a little off. But it's cool. I really like it. Great shirt. I actually almost lost it like a week ago or a week or two ago. I left it at a wedding that I DJ'd in Estes Park, which if you probably don't live in Colorado, so you don't know where that is, but I live in the Denver area, of course, and Estes Park is like an hour and a half drive away, so you know, I left it there, and it was miserable. But we had another DJ go up there a week later, and they were able to find the shirt and pick it up for me, which was great because I love this shirt a lot. This bracelet. This bracelet is awesome. I do. It's a little cringe maybe, but I love it. I love it. The leather. I had like a leather watch. I'm not a big watch guy. I got like a leathery strap watch that my mom gave me that I wore for a while. Then it wore out and it doesn't really hold together anymore. So I wanted something else leather to buy to wear because I liked it. So I found a leather shop on Etsy and bought this from them, and it's been great. It's cool. I don't know if you asked about the shirt. The shirt I bought is Teddy Fresh, which, if you know what that is, that could potentially be controversial because it has to do with H3, and everyone hates H3 except for me. I love it, but it's Teddy Fresh. Teddy Fresh has incredible shirts. Also, you can't. Another reason why I wanted to, I wanted to get this shirt back so bad is that Teddy Fresh does not really redo things. They do sometimes if it's really popular. But they do not redo it. So this is actually a version exclusive. Probably you can't like I looked. You probably cannot buy this shirt again. Unfortunately, they might still have some from the Godzilla collab, but they honestly might not. So if I don't, are you talking about guy? Are you talking about the leather or the Teddy Fresh? Because if it's the Teddy Fresh, you're shit out of luck, my guy. And if it's the leather, then I might be able to help you out. Though I don't know if I have the link. Wait, if I go to Etsy, Etsy? Let's go to Etsy. Etsy's a nice place. I would not say Mr. Moneybags. I would not say Mr. Moneybags. I'm Mr. Broke. Mr. Broke. Very much, and it's not that expensive. It was a little bit, maybe, but I think I got it on a deal actually. Shit, I bought it on Etsy. I'm pretty sure. It's honestly been a bit. So let me see if I can find a link, and I'll just. Can I post a link in my own chat? I think I can actually. Let's find out. Let's see. Oh yeah, engraved, black leather, double something. Oh wow. I don't think it was $50. No, it probably was. I probably actually spent $50. Dude, I've been like I was actually doing okay on money like several months ago, and now I'm like struggling way more, which is unfortunate. Let's see. Well, I can give you the link to. I guess I'll give you this link to this thing that I bought. Or here, I'll give you the link to the seller page. How about that? See if this works right. I'll send it to you. I like it's got a lot of good leather stuff here, actually. I considered buying more from them if I wasn't completely fucked broke. I would buy more. I think I can post links in my own chat. I think I can do it. Yes, okay, I can. Thank God. Okay. That's the best I can do for you. Hopefully that works. No, it's some good shit. It's some good shit for sure. Okay, I'm gonna end the stream on that note. I appreciate that you like my fashion though. I like good fashion. It's a thing for me, you know. I like good fashion a lot. I pride myself in having like cool shirts and stuff, you know, and being a cool looking guy more or less. And I like to think I succeed at it. You know what I mean? I was thinking of making Hiccup's gauntlets from the second movie. Ooh. Hiccup movie. Hiccup looked pretty fucking sick in the second movie. I do remember that. Hiccup was had a glow up. Was kind of a badass in the second movie. For sure. Oh yeah, that would be fucking awesome. He's got like a knife on his gauntlet too. That's pretty cool. The first movie was better, let's be real, but Hiccup did have a glow up, and we like the glow up. We love the fashion glow up and being a badass. The rings, thank you. Yes, the rings. I had a stint where I was doing all this stuff, and then financial things, job change situation got tricky, and I could no longer continue to afford to buy all these things, unfortunately. So I've taken a break from now. Hopefully someday, if I'm a successful content creator and I have money again, I will continue my fashion journey, you know, because I love that shit. And I also want to get a sleeve tattoo on this arm. I'm saving it. So I got my tattoos on this arm so far. It doesn't look even. If I hold like this, it looks more even. Okay. I got these tattoos on this arm, but this one I'm saving for some sort of sleeve. I'm not certain on what it's going to be, so don't ask. All right, sorry. You inquire about my fashion. I love my fashion. It's like, I love it. Okay. I'm going to skedaddle. Farewell. Thanks for watching, that guy. And we had Genesis and Relish in there. And we had other folk that joined in our... I just like to call people out because I feel... And we had Danger P who left, unfortunately. We had Colby jump in at one point. I don't know. We had a bunch of people. It's been great. It's been freaking cool. Okay. Farewell. Yeah. If I get 3,000 watch hours, yes, I know. I've been thinking about that, and easier said than done, unfortunately. Easier said than done. I got to make 2 more videos like that, like that other one to get there, which I guess is only 2 videos, but they're not going to be that successful, so it's like, I'm going to get it. We're going to get 3,000, and then we can get like memberships and such, and hopefully some of you folks would be a member, maybe. I don't know, but we got a ways to go, so I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to keep up the grind. Thank you for bringing me this far, and participating, and we're having a good time. I got more content. I got more streams that I want to do, hopefully in the near future, and hopefully some more video ideas as well. But I'm not going to get distracted by chat, so don't say anything. Let me find my end stream button. Goodbye. Farewell.